Greetings everyone and welcome back to Draven's continuing adventures into the Iliac Bay. So I have a problem. It's a fixable problem, but a problem nonetheless. The dungeon we have been attacking the past two videos, the ruins of Masterford's Guard, is considered broken from all the research I have done. The mummy that carries the quest items will not spawn, or if he does spawn, he will not have the items, or just be in a room that's totally inaccessible. And you're actually supposed to be sent to a dungeon called the Mausoleum of Dark Averin, and not this dungeon. So I believe that this dungeon is glitched, and the only way we are going to get those quest items is to summon them. I kind of want to do that as a last resort. I want to make sure it's completely busted, like just completely broken over, but everybody did name this dungeon. They said it was exactly this one, and it's supposed to be actually like another dungeon, and that they would recommend loading an older save file if you got sent to this dungeon. So I'm pretty sure it's broken, but we're going to handle that the next video. For this video, just to get away from this mess, we're going to do either another dungeon, see if we can get any loot, hopefully a level up, and if anything, if we get any loot, perhaps we could sell it to a town. So let's look for any dungeons. What is this? The Ashton Crypts, the Salusa Hermitage, the Cathedral of Jubith. Let's go there. That sounds enticing, right? So it'll take 5 days to get there. And hopefully we we'll get something out of this at least. You know, broken old game quests driving me up the wall. Okay, so there's an orc. Let's cast Recall here. That's not what I wanted to cast, but it worked out. Recall. Let's anchor it. Let's see what the shaman actually had. 60 gold pieces, a round shield, leathercrass, yellow flowers. We're not going to take ingredients. When we get to Morrowind, I'll do alchemy, but I've never been enticed to do alchemy in Daggerfall. Okay, so we have an orcish longsword. That is very nice. What's the damage? 7 to 20? 9 to 23. I think I want to use it for now and equip this shield, right? That's not too bad. Elven Greaves, 48 gold pieces, a helmet, plus 3. Let's go back to the, I think it was here, the wagon, and put away the Warhammer for now, just to switch weapons, because I think, we'll take the gold. We'll leave the robes. I think our blunt weapon is higher right now, right? Let me see, primary. No, it's not higher, but, it's getting close. So I think for now we could switch. I like to switch weapons. I don't like to stick to one thing. Okay, yeah, that was easy. 48 gold, a steel staff, nothing special. Let's do a quick save. I'm starting to think orcish boots. Okay, I was not expecting that. And it's better than adamantium. Okay, so far this dungeon delve is working in our favor, plus we have a mithril longsword. That's for sailing. Did I say sailing? I meant selling, because we have an orcish sword, which is better. I have a feeling that perhaps one of these is a secret room. No, okay. So that's a shaman. So far, these shamans have good items. Yes, look at this. Another orcish sword. This time it's a broadsword. Come, let's find more shamans. I will throw a celebration if we can get a full set of orcish here. That's dreaming. That's really dreaming, but you know, Draven can hope. Draven could hope. I mean, we have the Daedric Greaves, but they're way too expensive to repair, and I'm thinking that they're eventually going to break. So I'm not exactly sure how optimal it is to have the Daedric Greaves. What's in this chest? Gold. I was told by a viewer that you could sell the daggers at a pawn shop, the holy daggers and the holy tomes. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I've never went to the pawn shop, so I guess it makes sense. Let's cast some healing. Let's see. Okay, it's just standard loot. There's a lot of shamans here. But so far, I'm not complaining. That's just a steel cuirass, a 6+ helmet. I think we have a 13, yeah. We'll take the gold, a holy relic. Okay, we can sell that at the pawn shop. Thank you, viewer, again for letting me know that, because I didn't know. And 324 gold pieces and some alchemical ingredients. Let's see, where do we want to go? I'm gonna cast heal, right? Okay, let's see what... I forgot I had these magical items. So I might need to go back to the wagon and put some things away here. Alright, so another... I hope they keep throwing us shamans. Fool's Ebony Part the 6. I'll take that, and I'll take the Elven Pauldrons. I think we want to read Fool's Ebony, but if anything, we'll sell the book. Luckily, we have the skirt. And why was it such a high-level lock if it was just an empty room? I'm kind of... Or maybe... Okay, well, I guess that's Daggerfall dungeon design for you. It leaves you bamboozled often. That really didn't have anything. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Come on. There we go. Let's not even be friends, all right? Because I might need your loot. 6+ helmet. That's not really what we're looking for. It's kind of a step down. I'm hoping for an orcish helmet or cuirass. I mean, I wouldn't mind another weapon. Another weapon we could sell, because we're just using swords and hammers. But I want like an armor piece. That's really what I want. I think we are going around in circles, but I'm not exactly sure. I just could pull up the map. No, okay, here's another shaman. 48 gold pieces, bamboo, zabers. Yeah, just crap. Maybe we could... You know what? No. It seems like enchantments don't run out like later Elder Scrolls games, so let's just use the enchantment. I don't want to cook anything. Let's see. Beautiful. A Daedric battle axe. That's something we could sell. Okay, so we can't take it, but we're gonna take it, definitely. You can't carry any more stuff. What can we drop? The dragon scales? Anything else? Anything else? Not the boots. I'm going to sell the boots. Can we take it now? Okay, perfect. And we'll take the dagger as well. And the gold. Okay, so it was a good idea to come to this dungeon. It's sort of working in Draven's favor. You stifle a yawn. I'm assuming Draven's getting sleepy. Let's see where we haven't gone. So I should go down, right? Okay, so let's go down here. If it's handing out loot like this, it's just better to take the advantage while we can, right? The game wants to be generous. For giving us a broken quest, then let's let the game be generous. Okay, so let me see where that goes. Okay, so we have to go down, right? Which way am I going? Am I a fool? Okay, so let's go down here. The map, it like plays tricks on my eyes. That's how I see it. It's very, very confusing. So we go down here. Right? No, what I want to go... Okay, let's just go down here. And we'll figure it out. Alright, so let's turn the map around. Okay, so we haven't explored that area, actually. Right? Let me see. Yeah, it's not explored. Okay, so let's see what's up here, actually. Perhaps more loot. I hope I'm just hearing things, but I think I heard a seducer. Right? Or... Because so far it's just shamans, but... You know, maybe we should throw a game save, because I go too often without saving. There's a monk. Well, do you have anything for sale? You know what? Let's just kill the monk, right? There we go. Potion recipe, 36 gold pieces. The monk was a jerk anyway, right? Okay, so we've been through here. Where haven't we gone? Okay, so we could turn this way and go upward, because it seems like that wasn't fully explored, or was it? Did we go through here? It seems like we haven't been here. So, hold on. This does somewhat get you turned around. I think it's here, right? This is unexplored. Yeah, okay, so let's just go through this way. There's no objective here, just get as much loot as we can, and we have found another orc shaman. And I think that's what we're looking for. Orc shaman died. He just had gold. I like the gray tunic. We'll take the tunic. And the shield. What's the shield? +2? Okay, they're both +2 shields. I'm thinking maybe I should get a tower shield. Though, honestly, I don't like the way the tower shield looks, but... You know, better armor rating. Okay, so... I think we should... Yeah, okay, let's go down this way. I think it... Is it this way? What's going on here? Yes, it's this way. Okay. So then we have to go down here, make this turn. No, I don't want to leave a note. Alright. Is it a turn? No, it's this turn. Okay. I'm hoping... I just really want an orcish cuirass. You know, you head down to these moldy old dungeons, and that's just really what you want is just loot, right? You play old dungeon crawlers and go to old dungeons for the treasure. For the fun, too, but... Like, can you imagine, like, a fantasy adventurer just going to a dungeon for the fun of it? I don't think they would. It would be either greed or a very important task, or maybe he's a hero, but I can't imagine any adventurer, like some fantasy adventurer, going to just some sort of dungeon without a good reason. I can't imagine fun is one of them. I mean, unless you're a Nord. Unless you're a Nord, then yeah, fun. You might have fun going through a dungeon and battling what's ever inside. But I don't consider Nords... I don't consider them sane, really. I don't consider them particularly sane. Okay, so I think it's just time to leave this dungeon. Let's cast Recall, right? There's nothing here. I want to go to a town and just sell... Okay, that's not fantastic. 7 crazy naked women after Draven. And not the kind that he wants. The kind that are very creepy. And have possibly kidnapped a scholar. Who knows what they did to that scholar who just fell in love with them. Hold on, could they possibly carry loot? Alright. Maybe a few fireballs. There they are. No, I don't want to sort the spells. Let's just blow them up. There's way too many tits on screen. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and of course they didn't drop. I was hoping that perhaps we could get some sort of loot. Right? Because there was just a lot of pixelated nipples there, but yeah, no loot. That's unfortunate. Alright, so let's see if there's a town. You know what? Yeah, let's go to Borean. Let's see, let's go to Borean. Alright, 4 days to get there. Destruction has improved. Not bad. I'm wondering when... Okay, look at this. I was just about to say, I'm wondering when exactly we're going to level up again, and voila, he just leveled up. Okay, so what do I want to level up? I don't think endurance will give us more health because it's 20 per level up, right? But it definitely will help. So I'm thinking... I don't see Draven as a man who really loves spellcasting. I see him as a man who uses spells when he can't physically handle something, because he's magically gifted, but he prefers the art of war. That's how I see Draven. That's why I really don't cast... Well, I do cast spells with Draven, but I guess that's why I don't really buy any more spells or create spells. I just... He kind of likes magic just as a tool, because he's gifted in it, but he prefers combat. He prefers the nobility and the adrenaline of melee. So I'm thinking either maybe let's max out strength or agility. What happens? Not maybe agility, right? We'll get a bigger chance to hit. But I feel like we're getting a lot of hit chances. Endurance is good, but I'm more concerned about agility and strength. If we max out strength, we'll get much more cumbrance, right? 91, that's not bad at all. You know what? Let's even it out. Let's put 1 into strength, and let's get that hit chance up. Let's put 85 into agility. I think that's what we want to do. Okay, so we are entering Borean. Persons of Anticlair are to be detained upon sight. Andister Woodsley. Why? Why is that the case? Is there some sort of war going on between them that you don't, as the player, hear about? Whose temple is this? Stendar? Draven worships Mara. Draven worships Mara. Although me personally, Stendar's one of my favorite of the 9 divines. So let's look for a market square, and there is a market square. That's going to save us some time. And we'll be able to sell these weapons we've acquired. Hopefully, we will have enough to get the airship rather soon. I think we passed it. No, we're going just too far east. I mean, is it east? Where were we going? Yeah, east. We have to go south. There's a general store. Then I want to go to a pawnbroker and follow the advice of that viewer, and you know, sell these holy daggers and so forth. Okay, so there's the armorer. And let's see what we can sell the armorer. Let's see if he actually has anything. He has a dwarven mace, but that's not very helpful at the moment. It's nothing we really need. Elven pauldron, elven greaves, and the adamantium boots. Please, look at this gold. Enough of this endless dickering. You're obviously in great need. Normally I would pay for less, but for you I will offer 4,743 gold pieces. You are paid with a letter of credit. While it's not the exact amount I was hoping for, it's still really good gold. And then there has to be like an armorer, right? Well, that was the armorer. Where's the weaponsmith? There we go, because there's usually a weaponsmith within town. Well, obviously the town, but the market square. Sell Orcish broadsword, Daedric battleaxe, and the mithril longsword. 23,000 gold. But he's only offering a measly 9,182. Listen, I will offer you the absolute maximum. I can without losing my shirt. Here's 9,182 gold. Take it and tell all your friends you cheated me. I mean, you cheated me, friend, because I'm giving you Daedric. Okay, so let's go to the tavern, get some food. We have a decent amount of gold. Let's get some ale and some rabbit stew. And I think that perhaps that maybe we could go back to the dungeon. Not the broken dungeon. I already have the solution to that if it's indeed broken. I'm pretty sure it is. That's what everybody's saying. But maybe more looting. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, actually, hold on. I had forgotten that I want to go to the pawnbroker. So let's see here. Where's the pawnbroker? They don't have any in this, in Borean? Really? Any pawn shop? I think they have one in Karenbrone. Okay, so we have to go there. This city does not have a pawnbroker. Black Witch... Let's see. Black Witch Heath. Let's just type it in. Charin Brone, right? I think that's what it was. A day of travel. That's not too bad. I want to sell the dagger. I want to sell the... I think I have some holy tones. Not too sure. And there's the airship. I will not rest until we get one. It's on the top of the list. The top of the list purchases, because with the knights will get a free house. So let's see. Let's ask one of these lovely villagers if they'll point us to the direction of the pawn shop. The essential used gear. Okay, so she can't help us. What about this town guard? East. To the east. Come on, point it on the map. Okay, finally. That's what we want. Alright, so there it is. They just waste a dramatic amount of time when like... just tell us. Like, point it on the map. There it is. That's the pawn shop. I for some reason, I always took this as alchemy. Like, I don't know why, but... Of course, it's locked. So let's cast Recall. And then let's go to the tavern, because Draven's going to die if he stays in the rain. Because, I don't know, he's very frail. It doesn't make any sense. We'll eat the leftovers. Some ale. I mean, it makes sense if he got sick, right? But, like, not even, like, 2 minutes. Alright, we need to rent a room. It's free, right? Perfect. And, we're going to rest for 4 hours. It helps. He stifles a yawn. I don't think it's dark out, right? No, it couldn't be. Okay, so where is this pawn shop again? It's right here. That has to work, yeah, okay. So let's sell. Yeah, look at this. We can sell the holy daggers. That's... I appreciate the viewer who told me this, because I just completely had forgotten about this, right? Look at the money we're getting. That's wonderful. Let's sell the wild elves as well, right? Since, you know, we read the book. Let's see. Vampires, lycanthropy of Jeffrey. Yeah, okay. This short sword, maybe? Yeah. The enchantment can't be that great if it's that cheap. And of course, we are getting ripped off. What about the short shirt? I don't remember what the shirt does. Alright, okay, unknown powers. Let's see if we sell it. We'll keep it for now. We want to check the enchantment. His enchanted shoes. A skillet. We can't carry any more stuff? Is it the amount of gold? I think it's the amount of gold, right? Okay, so let's quick save. And I think we are going to go to the Rothgarian Mountains. Perhaps Greywick. It'll take us a week to get there and then deposit all of this money into the bank. I just really like the mountains of the Rothgarian region. Yeah, look at this. It's just brilliant. So let's go to the bank, and then I think I'm going to go back to that broken dungeon. And then I'm going to... Then I think I'll end the video there. And then in the next video, we'll just... If it's broken, that dungeon, we're just going to have to summon the quest items because there's no other alternative. The game handed us a broken quest. Okay, so let's look for the bank. Let's ask for directions to the bank. There's only one here? Okay, so she at least had the courtesy to point it directly on the map. It's directly west. Look at this town, like... I just really like Rothgaria. There's a lot of Nord heads too, right? Like, a lot of these are Nords. I don't know why. There's the bank. I'm wondering how much we have in terms of the bank. Deposit letters of credit. Yeah, deposit them all. And then we're going to deposit just 14,000 gold pieces. Yeah, perfect. So if we have 138,608, yeah, that's fantastic. Do we have more letters of credit? No, it doesn't seem to. Okay, so hold on. What do we have in the wagon? Let's remove this gold, right? Or you know what? What we could do is just deposit it directly from the wagon, I assume, right? That would make sense. Or maybe we can't do that. A ship? This is not a port town, Sir Draven Silverblood. We have no ships. Okay, so it has to be a port town where you buy a ship. I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, I kind of like that little detail there. Yeah, I don't know what I just said. I meant to say, I kind of like that little detail there. I said it like a kid. I don't know why. A tongue trip, mind you. Just a small tongue trip. Don't make fun of me. Royal breakfast plate. All right. So let's go back to the broken dungeon. What was the name of the dungeon? The ruins of what? I can't even find it now. Okay, this is a little strange, right? Was it one of these red dungeons? Yeah. Let's go to the broken dungeon. 10 days. And perhaps we're going to read a book there. And then just in the next video, if it's really broken, then we're going to have the quest items. So let's cast recall here, right? Let's see. I want to read a short book. Did I read the Crystal Tower? I don't think I did. And it's pretty small, right? So it sounds like the history of Daggerfall sounds pretty interesting as well. It's a bit more lengthy. Let's read the history of Daggerfall. After all, we are spending a lot of time in High Rock. A history of Daggerfall. There is sufficient archaeological evidence for the modern historian to believe that there has been some variety of human settlement in the city-state of Daggerfall starting at least 1,000 years before recorded history. The first use of the name Daggerfall to refer to the area around the current capital was most probably in the 246th year of the First Era, the north half of the Iliac Bay. In fact, all of the current province of High Rock was conquered by invading Nords, who brought a rough sort of civilization with them. One of the first civilized acts the Nords performed was a census, so the so-called Book of Life, listed on page 933 of the book in this entry. North of the highest bluffs, south of the moors, west of the hills, and east of the sea is called Daggerfall. 110 men, 93 women, 13 children under 8 years of age, 58 cows, 7 bulls, 63 chickens, 11 cocks, 38 hogs live here. Nearly 4,000 years after this census was taken, we can see that these 216 people have multiplied heartily. The last census in the year 3E 401 lists the population at over 110,000. It is always difficult to find an exact number, but the capital city of Daggerfall certainly outnumbers her rivals, Sentinel and Wayrest. Now, I'm thinking, right, before I continue reading the book, isn't that a little small for a city? Because I always imagined Tamriel, or the planet of Nirn, being, like, far bigger than Earth, because in my mind, that's the only way a fantasy planet could function, right? Because, you know, you look at real life and there's, like 8 billion, around numbering now, like 10 billion people, right? So, you know, imagine those numbers, but, you know, there's orcs and then elves, and then, you know, maybe not an Elder Scrolls, but then you have dwarves, and I mean, like, the classic Lord of the Rings style dwarves. And, you know, in the case of Elder Scrolls, Khajiits and Argonians and Fox people. I remember the Fox people, I don't remember their name. He did say it's hard to find an exact number. I imagine it must be far bigger than that, because 110,000 for a city, I imagine, you know, Daggerfall is, the city itself is, like, sprawling lore-wise, even bigger than what we see in this game. Like, I imagine, like, it's just sprawling and sprawling with, you know, a fortified castle, you know, enclosing the city itself, because just trying to picture only 110,000, it looks small, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't feel right, at least not to me. Again, like, comparing it to real life. You know, for me, a fantasy province, the only way a fantasy province makes sense when you have, like, a bunch of elves, humans, and, you know, goat people, or whatever you have running around, the only way that would make sense is if it's bigger than, you know, an Earth continent or planet just in general, land-wise. So, you know, maybe I could coordinate my thoughts better, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. So anyway, enough babbling, let's continue reading the book. It has been a consistent, if not actually helpful, amusement of historians to find the origin of place names. Daggerfall, by tradition, is said to refer to the knife the first chieftain threw to form the borders of his lands. But there are other legends that may have equal validity. The Daggerfall entry from the Book of Life actually supports one theory about the reason for Daggerfall's longevity. The people were coastal fishermen, but they also found the land itself sufficiently rich to support raising livestock. This inclination of the early citizenry toward reinforcing their principal products brought stability to a fickle land. Daggerfall thrived during the years of the Skyrim occupancy, when the Wild Hunt killed King Borgus of Winterhold in First Era 369. The Northlands engaged in the War of Succession, and Skyrim, greatly weakened, lost her holdings in High Rock and Morrowind. The Iliac Bay had become important strategically, and Daggerfall began to expand her military. Quick pause. What's the Wild Hunt in the Elder Scrolls universe? I'm very curious about that. I know what the Wild Hunt is in The Witcher 3. I have played that. But I'm very curious, what's the Wild Hunt in the Elder Scrolls universe? I kind of wanted to look that up. Anyway, so let's continue the reading. There were multiple opportunities for her to exercise this armory and navy during the Direni conflicts with the force of the Elysian Reform. The Direnes were native Bretons, and Bretons are hardly ever given to excessive religion. Daggerfall became a minor base of operations for the Direnes and their allies. Raven Direne, the enchantress whose magic helped secure the final victory over the Elysians and the Glenumbria Moors, was one of the earliest occupants of Castle Daggerfall. Over the centuries that followed, the Direnes fell into obscurity, but Daggerfall continued her growth. In 1E609, King Thagor of Daggerfall defeated the army of Glenpoint and became the preeminent economic, cultural, and military force in southern High Rock, a position the kingdom has precariously kept ever since. Ironically, it was another successful military exercise 370 years later that ended Daggerfall's monopoly of bay trade, the annihilation of the Orcish capital Orsinium by a joint effort of Daggerfall, the new kingdoms of Sentinel and the now extinct Order of Diagna, the scattering of the Orcs from southeastern High Rock made the river route to the bay more accessible. The tiny village of Wayrest grew like a flower that no longer feared the Mao in 20 years. Wayrest's trade profits equaled Daggerfall's in 40 years. Wayrest was the acknowledged master of Iliac Bay. In 120 years, Wayrest became the Kingdom of Wayrest. The Kingdom of Sentinel did not exhibit Wayrest's aggrandizement during the First Era. The Red Guards were warriors learning the ways of the merchants, and their land was enemy enough to keep their population checked. Indeed, the number of people in all areas of the Iliac Bay was halved once in the First Era by the Thracian Plague, once again by the War of Righteousness, and a third time by the invading Akaviri. If Daggerfall had not spent its first 1,000 years preparing for the battles of the next 1,000 years, it is indeed inconceivable that the Iliac Bay today might be Akavirian. The Second Era, like the latter part of the First Era, is a tapestry of wars, insurrections, and plagues. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest continued to expand and improve their military and economic positions in the Bay. Daggerfall and Wayrest would transpose positions as major trading center of the Bay, and Daggerfall and Sentinel likewise bandied over which was the superior military power. The Iliac Bay has continued to hold an important position in the imperial government of the Third Era, rarely allies, though the combined armies in opposition to the Cameron usurper in the 3rd century of the Third Era is a notable exception, but not always enemies. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest have weathered the storms of contention, plague, famine, and pestilence. The recent War of Bethany was typical of Iliac Bay warfare, sincere, frighteningly violent, and peaceably resolved. That was an interesting book. Now, why are they always picking on the orcs? I feel so bad for the orcs, especially since, like, obviously, I might have some bias because, as I said in previous videos, Dark Elves and Orcs are my number 2 race, and then my number 1 race is Nords. I just love Nords. I have this thing for barbarians and shouting and stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of the Elder Scrolls lore, the Orcs are getting picked on, and they seem to be, like, at least the city Orcs, very mellow compared to everybody else. Everybody else is, like, wound up so tight. And Orcs seem, for the most part, are just willing to let things go. And then they call Orcs the savages. Like look at the Dark Elves. They're whipping Argonians. They're running rampant with slavery. I know that you might make an argument that, you know, the chieftain is only the one that could have a wife, but I heard there's, like, situations where that's not always the case. Like, it depends on the tribe and whether they perceive Malakath's code that way, or even if they worship Malakath at all, because some of them, might be imperialized or whatever. But yeah, the Dark Elves are over here, killing Argonians and making them slaves, and the Nords are busy, killing Dark Elves and then Bretons, and then, the Imperials. I don't know what the Imperials have done that are so terrible, but every race in Tamriel is pretty terrible. I mean, the Orcs are raiding villages a lot and, killing people in this game, but at the same time, they're being oppressed very badly. They're not even considered sentient, they're just considered beasts, right? So, anyway, I think that was enough of what I had to say about this book. I actually really liked the Bretons and the Red Guards. The Elder Scrolls series is, the only series that I respect. Well, not respect, but what I meant to say is the Elder Scrolls series is the only series of games where I actually feel like picking a human is special. I feel like it's not a boring option. For example, in a D&D game, you will never catch me picking a human, but in an Elder Scrolls game, I might be captivated to pick an Imperial or a Nord. It feels special to pick those human races. They don't just feel like bland pieces of paper, But anyway, that was it for this video. Thanks for watching. I ranted it a little after the book, even if you're watching at all, because I assume some people skip the book section. But I'll be back with more of Draven's adventures. And in the next video, if the dungeon really is broken, then we're just going to have to get those quest papers. But the rest of the quests won't be broken. It's just this particular quest, apparently, from the research I've done. But anyway, enough babbling, and I'll see you next time.